another show called Let's Talk About It by David Hill. Today we're going to talk about the things about America. Has it changed, or is it the same as yesterday? I look at today, I don't know if it has changed much, because what I see is the same old things I see when I was a little fella on the news. Except for sticking the dog on us now, they got the cops shooting our kids down. I don't see no different than it was back then. It's still the same genocide. I don't know. We're going to talk about this subject today. And I'd like to welcome back to the show Mr. Daryl Harris. Today we're going to be talking about, has America changed, or is it the same as it was yesterday? Mr. Harris, let's talk about what you think.
America hasn't changed too much, it's just the style that they're using that has changed. Instead of being whipped and put out on the fields to work, we're working for bigger corporations now. We're actually getting paid for our work, but when you look at it on a large scale of what the corporations are actually making, we're back to slavery again. You know what I mean? Because we're not making that much. Even in the middle class, you're only making enough really to survive throughout the year. What you're able to save is very minimal. So America hasn't changed as much as a lot of people think. As you preluded to in your opening, they changed the hoses and the dogs to just outright, killing our young brothers out there across America.
Yeah, because I don't think it really changed at all. Yes, maybe you live a little better. It's not too much better. Like you say, they changed all that in. But then let's look at the killings that went on, like with our kids down in Florida and so forth, and all over the United States.
Right.
How they killed our kids with no remorse. It was the same thing as the lynchings and the hangings was back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
I agree.
I don't see no different. And when they bring you in the jail today, what they're supposed to be the justice system, okay, but you come off a boat, just that they did our people when they bring from ancient Kingdom.
Correct.
And with this system of law that they got, I don't see no difference because they still come in chains. When you bring them out the courtroom, they're in chains like mad savages. We're not mad savages. We're the first of this earth. And I don't see no change. Yeah, they pay us now. Big whippy. You're paying us. But you're underpaying us.
Exactly.
And then you make some money, or you made too much. You can never make too much money.
Exactly. And that's the way they work in order to keep holding us down where we are today. America, the only thing, again, that's changed from the time when they were using the dogs and using the hoses, the only thing that's changed now is that they just became, more of them put on badges, more of them have judges' robes on, most of them run major corporations. So what has really changed? And they still treat you the same.
I'm in the country, most of them are in government, because these are the ones that make our fate. The people that's in government, they make the laws, they make the rules, but me and you not included in any of those.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. So all they did was just, took us off of the plantation and just made it a federal enslavement.
Yes, federal enslavement. Because when they say, okay, we've been emancipated, that just meant change of patient.
Change your hand.
Change your hands. From you being a personal slave to a government slave. Then they made all of us slaves in 1933. When
Right.
it was all birth certificates and these Social Security cards.
Absolutely, a way to keep track. They also use those numbers on those documents to, actually, believe it or not, as collateral on Wall Street.
Yes.
And if you knew what to look for and where to look, you'll see it. And absolutely every person on the face of the earth is used for collateral. That's how the government gets their money from the Federal Reserve, because they have insurance on everyone on the planet, everyone that lives in the United States.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Well, let's look at how they've done it. They set it up So you and I, you knowing it, we will put the people, how I say, wards of the state. And they set it up for you to sign your children over as wards of the state.
Absolutely.
When you get ready to have them, then you can't afford it because all you got to have is a birth certificate. Why would we have to have a birth certificate or a certificate of birth? I mean, back when my mother lived and their mothers lived before them, you had to have no certificate of birth.
Social Security card either.
Social Security card either.
Yeah.
It was recorded in something called our Bible, which we know that book's not authentic, but still, that's another show. But I mean, what are your thoughts about that? I mean,
Well, again, as you said that back in those times, they didn't need these type of things. But again, once the government signed in with the Federal Reserve and gave them that latitude back at that time to produce certain things like money, and then they were borrowing from it, and so in order for them to be able to pay that back, they had to treat us like cattle, like stock. And so that's what they did by issuing these birth certificates and these social security numbers. That's just your brand. You know what I mean? And you're just stock. Just like I said, you're right there on Wall Street.
stock and cattle. At least they don't sell us like they used to. Putting fingers in our mouths again.
Well, if you think about it, even that hasn't changed much.
No,
I mean,
still
because they
degrading.
still do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, in most states when you're incarcerated, for example, you don't just sit there and do your time. They're going to put you to work. And are you getting paid for that work you're doing?
No.
In most cases you're not. And what they are paying you 10 cents a day, what is that? But they're getting paid well because they're doing all this for private individuals. So yeah, even though they may not have the balls in our mouth, we may not be standing up there being auctioned off, we're still being used for slave labor.
Yes, slave labor. What we gonna do about that? Stop to something about all that. But then when you don't have the upper hand, you can't do nothing.
Well, I wouldn't say that we as a race don't have the upper hand. It's just that we don't have the knowledge of self. And if we all acquire the knowledge of self, then we'll be more able to understand more of what's going on around us and how that we have been suppressed as a people ever since, not that we came to America, because we were already here.
That's right.
But when the guy they called Christopher Columbus came to America, and shortly after that, the Europeans started coming, everything changed. So America is always going to be the same until, like I said, we as a people know who we are. And then we come together as a people, and claim our heritage, take our heritage back, you know what I mean? Because what they have of ours wasn't given to them. They took all that from us, you know what I mean? They may not have snatched it out of your hands or mine, but they took that from our ancestry. And a lot of that is lost now. And now they have us believing in their make-believe history because they don't have one. So they came up with that book, like you said, the Bible, but again, that's another show.
Well, like you said, that's another show. But like you said, people don't have a past or history because they're not old enough to be called ancient at all. So they have to make up one.
Yeah.
And this is what they did. They fabricated, and they fabricated from all of our things.
Correct. Absolutely.
I mean, I look at, for example, the History Channel. How for many years, they didn't pay Egypt no attention after they robbed it, because they took the gold. And if they did study it a little bit longer, they could have found out that, oh wow, these people are the first people here. Well, these people for any of our people.
Mm-hmm.
So now you look at the History Channel, and they don't say these people anymore or the Egyptians. They say their ancestors. Like I said before, they're not your ancestors. They never have been. But you know that already.
Mm-hmm.
But you're always trying to accept something that's ours. Then you take it. You took everything. They say we done well like Wall Street. They did well what they do. You shut our people down the street, killed our babies, And I mean, your thoughts on that? Like I said, I see no change in America, especially when it comes to us.
And it won't be until, as long as they keep us hating ourselves, hating each other, having no self-love, and not having any self-worth or self-knowledge of self, you know, they'll continue to be able to do these things to us. So it's important that, you know, we teach each other that we need to really take this time and learn who we are and know where we come from. Because if we don't, you know, they'll have us extinct and kill us off just like they have everything else in the past. You know, there's a lot of creatures that have once been around that are no longer here. And why are they no longer here? Because they have killed them off.
Or pushed them out. Because we can go to Egypt today and can't find none of us there. Why we can't find none of us who started this, but you pushed us all out with the invention of movies and your books and things of that nature.
Well, what a lot of people don't know and what they fail to realize, see, a lot of people, they look at slavery and they only look at the whites when they think of slavery. But, you know, you have to look at that the Arabs over there, which they are, they're not Egyptians, they're Arabs.
They're not even white people
They had us,
and claim to be Egyptian. You're white in Egypt. You're not an Egyptian.
and what they did, they had us enslaved for 18,000. They had us 1,800 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they had us as slavery long before the white man even knew what slavery was.
Right.
You know what I mean? But today we hate the white man because of that, but yet we go to these Arab stores and treat them like they're family. You know what I mean?
No family in mind.
And we spend our money with them. Mm-hmm. You know, there could be an Arab store and a black store right across the street, and 90% of the black people are going to go to that Arab store.
Well, that's, like you said, loss of self-respect, and aiding the next man instead of aiding your own people. That goes together with that sticking together,
Yeah.
which we don't do.
Mm-hmm. That self-hatred, that the teaching of hating people that look like we do. You're hating someone that looks like us. We want to idolize and emulate, you know, other cultures. You know what I mean? And never ourselves. You know, so when you have that self-hatred for yourself, you hate, you know, anybody that looks like you. Yeah, we have relationships, we have marriages, we interact, we have families, but in that DNA pattern, I believe, you know, we've been taught so much for so long that it's hard to let go of things even when you know it's the truth because you're so comfortable. But in order for us to get back to who we were, we have to learn who we are first. We have to get the knowledge of self. And then the same way, if it comes down to it, if what's not willing to be given to us, we must take back. Because they didn't come and say, hey, can we have that? And we say, sure, you can have all this.
You know, so that's another thing I would like us to talk about is the taking back of things. Because if you look at our history, this is why they're scared of us. Because in history, true history, we conquer wherever we went. This is why they said, don't let them, too many of them get together. Can't let too many of them do this or that. Because if they do, they might be able to come back. But we're coming back. I want you to know it, we're definitely coming back.
Absolutely.
We're taking this back because it's ours. God, excuse me, but it has always been ours. So I just want you to know, we're definitely going to take this back. So young brothers and sisters, or young kings and queens, it's time to do so. It's time to learn about your past and your history. Like I said before, it's the greatest in the world. How can you sit back and let somebody down you or talk about you, degrade you, or bust you in the head? That's what they do. It's okay, well, we don't want you whooping your children no more. If that's assault, that's what they say. But that's not the truth. So the truth is, they want to change things, taking things out your parents' hands. So when you do wrong, they can take you out the street and club you to death, shoot you down. This is what's happening now, people. We really need to wake up. Another thing, we need to get somebody that lobbies for us in the UN. Without that started, we ain't gonna never get nowhere. Where's our leaders at? that lobbies for us. I don't see no black leaders out there. You call yourself a black leader? Where you at up in UN? You're nowhere. I don't see any lobbyists. I don't see Jesse Jackson. I don't see what's his name is? The fellow with the perm.
Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton. I don't see you leading nobody nowhere neither. Y'all do the same thing, but see, to me, you might get mad, but to me, that's the white man's gopher. You've been going for him for years. Where you at telling, look, what's this and that for my people? Where's this and that for my people? I don't see none of you. Barack didn't do it. He talked about the middle class and upper class. What did he say about the poor man? Nothing. Which most of the black men are poor. Because you never give us the opportunity to have a job or to say, I need this job to support my family. You moved us out to homes where you came to a thing called welfare. Well, let's get them about the home. Their kids don't need no father in the home. This is what happened. And gave the women said, okay, well, we could be the man. No, you're not the man. Let the king be the king as he always was meant to be. These things, like you say, we need to teach our children. Because, I mean, I'm sick of these things happening to us. You know what I mean? Or like I was telling before, it hasn't changed. It hasn't. You just take off your hoods. Put your hoods back on. Let us know who you are. You ain't gonna do that neither. But it don't make a difference what you do or not. I guess we will definitely take this back. This belongs to us. All of it. None of it ever belonged to you. You see, you came out of a cave. We taught you what to do. Shouldn't have taught you a damn thing at all. Never, ever, 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 ever. You shouldn't have taught nothing. But I tell you what, we teaching today. Is to have all our black brothers to stand up, teach, study about what's going on with you and yours. Study what went on with your heritage and your history, because it's not theirs. Why would you down your history? Why would you degrade your history? Without your history, people wouldn't be able to read, write, rip, none of that. You wouldn't know nothing about astrology, the stars, you wouldn't know about a king or a queen. White man didn't know about any of these things until he ran into us. You didn't know nothing about a God. But everything we taught you, they said, well, wow. This is why you try to take everything right now. You took all the things, the gold and the statues and the things about Egypt. You took us out of Egypt. Then you stand there and say, my ancestors. Hey, when I look at that wall, I don't see nobody white. The only person I see white getting killed. And to me, I thank God for El Sluddy because he's supposed to have been doing my people the genocide. And he's still doing it to this day. I'm not going to say what I really want to say about you. But let's talk about that there too.
Yeah, well, they gave reparations to the Jews that for what Hitler did to them.
Well, I mean, fake ass Jews. Okay, let's go back.
Well, to what they call Jews, they gave reparations to them because of what Hitler did and trying to wipe them out. Mm-hmm. But yet, we've lost millions, hundreds, millions of times more
and
than
still
any
losing
Jew.
to this day.
And still to this day, no one's done anything. No one said, because as far as I'm concerned, they could take salary and they could, stick it.
You got that
that's what
right.
I'm saying. But if we sit around and we wait for those type of things to happen, we'll never see those days.
We'll never see those days. You know, I think about, I've looked online and looked at things back in the 30s and 40s and how they hung our young black men, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17 years of age, which was a rite of passage for a white man to go out and pick a nigga. This is where the picnic come in at. Pick a nigga, beating the death, then let's barbecue, then they set him on fire. We have footage of these people doing these things. None of them have paid for that. None of them. None have been in jail. They are readily identified in all this footage. How come none of them went to prison or jail? I demanded that, hey, this is supposed to be taken care of, and that's where they belong. But what are you doing about nothing? Did you come in and say, well, yeah, these people did this to you? Here's the proof of everything that happened to them? And you sit back and you did nothing. This is like government. If there would have been some black people went to some white folk, I'm quite sure. You went way back. You had to go back 200 years to find them and get every one of them and prosecute them.
But they had to dig them up.
I don't care. Dig him up.
Listen, if that's what they did, they were black, they would have dung them up.
That's right.
Had the corpse in the courtroom.
Mm-hmm. Trying to charge him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I say my people, it's time to stand up, stop letting them shoot down our babies in the street, because that does not fly with me. Because killing my blood off, you done enough of that. Now what if, for every one that you shot of ours, we kill 100 of you police? How would you feel about that? Because I think that's what should be done. Regardless of who or how you feel about any damn thing. These are my people, not yours. And I think we should stand up. Let's sit back and you can call us what you want, hate. You goddamn right I hate it. Hey, I'm gonna let you know, this is my show. You got how you feel. You ain't mine, you still damn do. You sit back and you give us this little job, you give us that. Master my ass. Those days are going over with. It's time for us to sit back, people, and form our own committees, police our own streets, especially when these police come around and start stopping our people in the street. It's time for us to, as a team together, say, oh no, back up. Because you're not going to do this, you're not going to shoot nobody down. Let's police our own areas. There's no brothers out there, we got our own pistols with this and that. And look here, the hell with their law. Their law does nothing for us, never has. Their law puts us in the grave. So I don't see no change from yesterday. I don't know what your views.
No, that's absolutely. I agree with everything you said. And as far as the changes, no, there's no change. Then there will be a change until, again, we identify who we are and have knowledge of self and can come together and make these changes, demand these changes. You know, once again, like you said, we don't have anyone that represents us as African Americans in the UN.
Right. We're not African any damn thing. There's nothing that's covered by a white man. You're not African nothing. Anything got to do with anybody white. You ain't got nothing to do with it. Just like your old slave or how you took his name. You don't know your original name. And then they had the audacity to say, well, whose name was you going to take?
Yeah.
You know, they kind of aches my ass to pieces. Excuse me, French, that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of the white man. I'm sick of seeing you on everything and everywhere. Smell that goddamn crack in your face, sitting around. Boy, your thoughts? Because we're getting kind of hot about this.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that's one of the things really excites you. And you have a very strong passion for what you believe and what you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, until we can get our people to come together and demand these changes, because like I said, they're not just going to change anything. I mean, even certain liberties that we are supposed to have are not liberties, because these are things that so many years have to be rewritten, have to be re-signed off by the president. You know, in fact, the last president in office at that time for that to happen was George Bush. And he waited to the absolute very last minute to sign it because he wasn't going to sign it at first. And that would have took away a lot of the so-called rights that we have as black people. As long as we keep sitting around trying to be like them, emulate them, I mean, we got our women out here buying their hair.
Yes.
Eyelashes. They want to, you know, they got the Korean nails, you know, the fake hair. Trying to emulate somebody that they don't know.
Who despises them.
Actually admires them. They admire them so much that they have that hatred towards them. And one of the biggest reasons why they hate that is because when they came into Kemet and they seen once again for the first time, as you related earlier, that there were kings and queens.
That's right.
That we held our women into a high regard because we understood their role, their purpose, their life-giving.
As a life giver, on this planet.
Correct.
And she is to be admired and worshipped.
And through a lot of what we've been taught in life, that is one of the main things that have been taken away from us. Because even when you look at the early 60s, when they actually started doing all this welfare stuff, or allowing us as a people to get it anyway, it was because the black woman was so strong in voice. Angela Davis. I mean, these are women that were outspoken, and they know that. And if we get our women built up again, and we get them believing in themselves, because that's what's going to have to happen. You know what I mean? We have to get these life givers back into believing in who they are and what their purpose is and where they stand and the changes that they can help create.
Yes, because in our culture, she was highly regarded as a goddess. Because look at the first, right now, you know who the first to be resurrected? Who resurrected him? His wife resurrected him.
Absolutely.
To show the God that was in her.
That's that. Absolutely.
So our women need to know your worth. And stop the things that you're doing. Especially the degrading of the black man. We've been degraded enough.
Absolutely. And all that's just more things that have been just taught through life. You know, like I said, when the white women seen these things and they seen the way that the black man treated his woman, you know, they never seen these things before. You know what I mean? Because, you know, one, back then there was still savagery in them, you know what I mean? And they was having sex with the women, the men, the boys, the little girls, the animals,
the boys.
Everything, you know, it was nothing they wouldn't do. And as far as loyalty or commitment, they didn't know anything about that.
Well, no, to them, the women was of no regard. This is why they changed everything, because the Trinity was supposed to be Father, Son, Father, Mother, Son.
Correct.
They changed it to the Father, Son, and then the Holy Spirit. What is the Holy Spirit?
And which one of them is a life giver?
That's right.
Because none of them can bear children.
This is why she's held in such high regard, the life giver on this planet. You're supposed to be worshipped and praised.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And once we get them to stop, you know, because, you know, like they have the selfie down. You know what I mean? Because you know when they like taking their pictures and all that kind of stuff. They have the selfie down. You know what I mean? Now they have to get the thyself down.
Yes.
And once they get thyself down, you know, they'll be unimaginable where we can become as a race. We need to start doing more things. We need to start patronizing more black businesses instead of, you know, being mad because, you know, maybe that you're upset because that's not you or someone in your family.
I mean, you get up off your tail, you get your own.
Because we all have ideas. We all have things that we could put in motion that would benefit us greatly in life.
Yeah, I agree, because what you find about self, you couldn't find out we're the greatest people on this earth. We invented everything on this planet.
Everything.
Everything.
And the only reason why, for one, they will never give a black man credit for nothing that he's created.
No. We did again back then.
They took those ideas and patted them themselves.
That's right. When he was a slave, he can't patent that. He said, "What you got there, boy?" "Oh, this is what I call an engine."
Yeah.
"Oh, that's what you call that? Let me see what that is." "Well, boy, I might have to go around town half a lot that. Yeah. But did that black man get paid for anything? No, he didn't. Nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
this is what happened to us all through.
This is what I call a light bulb.
That should go off in the
This is what I call a telephone. This is what I call a washing machine. I mean, the list goes on and on. For the things that we as a black race have created. Everything.
They talk about
down to the medicines, the science of medicine,
oh, let's talk about
mathematics, you know, all that.
You know, like you said, medicines, okay. The Ankh, back in ancient Egypt, was the hospital. They used the very same things for that day. This the pole with snakes on the head. That's all us, all of it. It's without us, you wouldn't have to do anything. But you've been ungrateful and say after we taught you these things, ungrateful. Then you want to, but you conquer this. That was fun.
Because we're a loving people.
That's
you
right.
know, we wouldn't, you know, and we allowed in certain areas and certain regions for them to come in and open doors to them, and you know, unfortunately, the rest, as they call it, is history.
That's his story. His story
Just bring us here we are today.
Inferior, animalistic. Think of things that they said about Pharaoh. You made all these things up about this man who was great and loved throughout all of Egypt. But you made these lies up.
All of Africa.
Yeah. All of Kenya.
Well, all of Kenya.
All of Kenya, correct. And you came with these lies. And you still try to pick this, but it's hard for you to keep this lie going. Because as people grow old, they see right through the lie.
Yeah.
So you lied about everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You talked about these people now, as you talked about, now you're trying to say that they're your ancestors? You get out people saying that. That's I don't appreciate any of that. And I got a real big gripe against that History Channel. Because every time you post something, you post them white. There was no white queens and kings over in Africa, not Africa, ancient Kemet, I'm sorry, in Egypt or Ethiopia, which is the mother of Egypt.
And what they should have been doing is having those people what they truly were, which was black.
That's right.
And if they did want to portray themselves, then they should have portrayed themselves how they were, in cages.
In cages.
And entertainment for our children, wild animals.
But they can't let us see that.
While they were still going through their development into becoming a man.
Yeah, or becoming a person. Because I look at you, you're still animal. It's like that to me. You know, people, you go all type of fur across your back, you know what I mean? And then when I say fur, I don't mean hair, I mean fur. Cause your shit get wet. You smell like an animal. That's a fact. You understand me? And anyway, I mean, but you get lice, bugs, and shit like that. Things that we don't get. We have what you call real hair. Yeah, ain't got no fur.
Because even if you looked at one of them, they're covered with that fur all over their body.
Well, they had to be living in a cage.
It's just fine now.
Yeah.
But if you look, you see it's there.
Oh yeah, it's always there. Yeah, you got people right now, even comments, that oh, have you shaved your back? You're laughing, but that's the truth. He got to shave his back. I mean, you went around shaving their back.
Yeah, I don't shave mine.
I don't shave mine either. Ain't gonna happen. We ain't supposed to be doing that.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Say, I don't see no difference in the way you treated us, but I'm tired of the way you've been treating us. I watch it, and I'm disgusted with it. And all our black brothers and sisters should be disgusted with it too, but you're not. Instead of trying to be like him, what you want to be like him for? Why would you want to be like him, the enemy? He's always been the enemy. He is Tubal. He's always been the enemy. They show you things of Egypt. They show you all these things that they wrote themselves or drew up themselves. Because the actual images on the walls of Egypt, like you got Pharaoh, drowning hundreds of Caucasoids. What is a Caucasoid? White man, sure ain't black. You sure remember no else. That's a lie. You can keep that lie to yourself, but you're not. This is where you portray it. This is your story. It's what they call your history. That's your story. It ain't none of mine. It ain't none of yours out there. You find yours, you find the truth. And you look at him totally different. And you want to put him back in this place where he needs to be in the first place. And then behind you or beneath you. And then that's what you're supposed to be. I'm talking to all our black people. Not just one or two or the whole nation of Kemites, because this is what we are. Any brother that's that, my color, your ancestors started in ancient Kemet. That's where it started at. It didn't start nowhere else but over there. They found this woman named Lucy. Black woman said, oh, well, our DNA go back to her. Your DNA don't. Well, ours do. And then you're going to tell me that this Bible that you portray is us to be 6,600 years old? How is that possible? Anything that you do, you got to put them on that side to make your story true. We happen to know that your story ain't true. Just like you know it ain't true. You need to fess up. You got a lot of white, good people around. You know what I mean? I'm not going to just dismiss all because I got some good friends as white. But I hate the things that you've done to my people. And then you sit back and you don't think you did us wrong? Or it's, oh, well, you know, such and such is good. Yeah. No matter what the hell you say, that's still their people. No matter what happened to us, that's still their people. When she push come to shove, them people, their people. You should be saying poor white trash. Okay? He still got the upper hand on any of them over here. Why he got the upper hand? Because he's somewhere in his family. There's somebody that owns corporations, this and that, and he gonna get him a job no matter what happens. You say, oh, he mentally disturbed, he this, that, and then he go on a killing spree, or he was mentally disturbed, or his parents. Who gives a damn about that?
Well, that comes from generations of inbreeding, because, you know, they've been doing that ever since they became sexual as a people.
And then the biggest thing was messing with little boys. What kind of shit is that? Because you started the fact that shit you did. You laid it around, laying there with dogs and animals. It goes back to Romulus and Remus. Sucking the paps of a dog. We never done no things like that in our lifetime, ever. There's no history of it, but that's in your history. Laying there with animals. You've done it for a long time. Sheep, just own your farms. This is who you are. But black people don't think about who they are. Think about who you are. It's the greatest people on this planet is us. Always has been. Because you learn about the white man, the rest of them, start learning about yourself. Don't take our word for these things. All you got to do is look at what. And here's another thing. They got a thing called the internet. I think it's the greatest invention that they made up. Because anything that we say, you can go verify right away to tell me am I lying or am I not. Like I say, things haven't changed. I don't see them change. You say change, yeah, maybe a wee bit. But to me, they're still the same. And if we take back what's originally ours, it's going to stay the same. I don't want that to happen.
Absolutely not. We need to take back. We need to
take back what's our
time.
It's our time.
It's
not his no more.
Correct. And we're running out of time, and we don't pull our act together.
Soon. Got to pull it together soon. If we don't, like I said, I don't want my grandbabies and my grandbabies' babies and their grandbabies' babies to go through the same thing in the tyranny that we went through. Don't be scared to pick up arms to take back what's yours. I don't care what he says. This is what they did to us. Like I said, John Hanson was the first president of the United States. At that time, the cabinet was half black and half white. Things that they never taught you in school. But they had to displace and get rid of these people so they could start their agenda of slavery and everything else in this country. When they came here because they were trying to escape the tyranny of the king and queen of England and all that other shit. Okay? When they came then, they restored everything to put us right back in the place that we was at to say, look here. Okay, we can't enslave like that no more. Let's enslave them this way. And the head of the Ku Klux Klan, man, all that, they joined positions in government to keep us where we at to this day. And like I said, I don't see no change. It's time to stand up. I want to stand up for all of us. Well, in closing, I'd like to Thank you, Mr. Harris, for coming on the show again.
No problem. Anytime. Anytime.
And this is David Hill, and let's talk about it. Y'all have a good night.